All right, welcome everybody to a quick overview, I guess, of the SAM software. We're going to take you through a series of different processes, challenges, technically, allowing you to set up some very personalized systems to yourself. So what I want to do is kind of go through some of the processes, and as we go through them, I'll be doing some descriptions. You can follow along, or if you want to watch them first and then do them after, it's totally up to you. You can do whatever you want. So at this point, whenever you come into SAM, the very first thing that it is going to do is ask you for your email and your password. So if you do not have a SAM account yet, you will want to use the sign up option. You will put in your email address. Obviously, you don't have to do the plus challenge and put in a password. You put in your password that you want. Come down here to the sign up option. If you've not already signed up, click on sign up, and then go ahead and confirm that password. They do need to be the same, so whatever you type in, make sure they're the same. If you need to double check them, you click on the little eyeballs there, and that will let them be seen. If you want to receive our monthly newsletter, go ahead and click on the monthly newsletter. And if you would, you need to read our terms of services. Pretty standard, nothing out of the ordinary there. Your data is your data. We don't do anything with it. But there are some things that we don't want you to be doing, spamming people, stuff like that. But go ahead and check that, and then click on sign up. If you prefer, you can just click on the Google button here, log in with your Google account instead of an email address. But in this case, I wanted to do it this way, and then we click on sign up. It will then take you one more step and ask you for some personal details. What's your name? I'm going to put in Mark and Step, and your phone number. You put in your phone number that we can access you at, 417. I'm just going to put in 555-0987. And we do have the ability to send SMS. Just need your approval to receive those. Place a check mark there, and then click on submit. Now, what this does is this goes ahead and creates the account. The next time you log in, you just need to put in your email address and your password. It's going through and it's setting up that account right now, going through the process, and then getting you to your main screen. Now, your main screen is going to be your dashboard. Inside the dashboard, we've got lots of different numbers and facts and figures. Everything's going to be zero for you right now because you don't have anything in there, but something that will be very useful down in the future. Now then, we're going to take you through each of the different tasks so that you know what you're doing, and if you need any additional help, certainly reach out. We'll be happy to help you. But first task in this place is signing up, making sure that you were inside of SAM and getting in there. The next part of that task is actually putting in a lead manually. We want to make sure that you're able to enter contacts into your database at any given point in time. We want to show you how that's done. It's very simple. On the left-hand side, there's several different menus. This is our navigation menu. You can click on contacts. Inside the contacts area, you'll see a empty browse list where all your names will show. In the upper right-hand corner, you can click on New Contact. That will open up the contact card for SAM, the contact detail. And from here, we can just put in the contact manually, filling in each of the fields. You can put in the company name and title if you want, if it's more of a company record. Otherwise, you can leave them blank. You can put in the city, the state, and the zip manually. I'm going to just go to the zip code and type in the zip code, so it'll do a zip code lookup and fill in the information, and the country if you want to put that in there. Phone number, just put in some phone number of some sort. Sample, everything here is sample, so it's nothing personal. Just want to show you, you can put in your own people, you can put in your name and information in there and just play around with it. Fax number if you want to put that in, website. And then we've got some classification type fields, the category. This is going to be something that you're going to put in as either an A, B, C, or D. You can leave it blank if you want. You can classify them, figure out how you want your A's, your B's, your C's, your D's, however you want. This is personal preference. You don't have to use it if you don't want, but it becomes very good if you wanted to say, well, my top tier clients are A's, people that have referred several people to me. Maybe the B's are those people that have done business with me or given me at least one referral. A C is somebody that I want to do business with, and possibly a D is, hey, I've done business with them, I don't want to do it again. Or maybe these are your leads. You do it however you want. I'm just going to put in an A for this purpose. The type, is it an agent that you're putting in? Is it a client, farm, lead, personal? In this case, I'm going to go ahead and put in as a lead. And each of these fields that we're putting in, actually each of them except for the category, you can change what these values are in them in the settings area. So definitely look for the training on that. The status on this is either any of the choices here. Maybe it's a hot lead that you're putting in. And the milestone on this, maybe it's a new record, so we're just going to put it as new. Is there any kind of relationship, a marriage relationship? Are they divorced, single, married, whatever? So you can put it in as married if you want, married. We'll show you one more piece to this as well. The source, where did this name come from? And you can pick from the available sources. Again, you can add in your own sources in the setup area, but maybe this came from a event or something that we put on. The contact preference, if you can leave it blank, but if you know this person prefers email or prefers SMS or prefers phone contacts, you can put those in, especially email or SMS. Whenever we're creating content and we're sending that content out, either as an email message or an SMS, if the message going out is designed for an email, you can send it as an email, but if they prefer SMS, it can be changed over to an SMS message. Also, the language, what language do they speak? Do they prefer? One of the things that can happen is whenever the information is being created to send to them, the message being sent to them, if it's in English, it'll just send it as it is, but possibly they speak Spanish and the document, the message that you're sending out is in English. It can translate it immediately for you into Spanish before it sends it, and then you do have to approve it before it goes out. Any kind of automation, AI automation that happens does need to be done and approved by you at that point. We do have a section for tags, so you can add as many different tags as you want. In this case, maybe I want to say, new lead. I can tag it with that. I don't have any tags in here at all, so you get to create whatever tags you want. You just type them in and then click on the little plus or just press enter and it puts it down into the tag area. You tag them as whatever you want, say seller and buyer. If they're both, maybe they're both a buyer and a seller, you could do that. Tag them however you want. This is really mainly for searching purposes. Once you've selected everything, click on the close and it will add them to the list. Okay, so we've got them in the list and we're good to go there. Some notations of the tabs that's in here. We do have a section in here called important dates. These dates will become instrumental in creating our routines. We're going to go over that later, but just know that anything that has to do with a date is in here. Some of the dates are actually hidden. These are just some of the main dates that most people put in: a birthday, anniversary, the initial call date, initial meeting, and a follow-up date. But you can click on the little eyeball over here and you can choose from any of the dates. We do have the ability to create custom dates, so you can do things to set those up. Personal details. Personal details is a section where you can put in what's their likes, their dislikes, any kind of goals, hobbies, favorites, or family information. This is instrumental whenever you're creating content. The system can look at the personal details to craft very customized content to go out to the individual. So even though you may be sending a very templated type email before it goes out, it could actually be augmented or changed a little bit. The priorities, what kind of priorities do they have? What are their wants, their needs, their goals? You can put those in. Similar type of thing where you can just put in all kinds of details. Because we are an AI database, this information is indexed in a way that can be searched and found. So some really cool stuff in there. We do have a section in here for the calendar. This is where any activities will show up, your agreements. This is where any kind of buyer agreement, seller agreement, those types of things could be listed. We do have a section for the social links. So if you happen to know the Facebook, TikTok, and all those, you can actually pick from the different choices that are available, add them in, and go from there. So certainly available. There is a notes section, so you can add extra notes to the contact. Connections. Now, I had selected married, and potentially here, this is John Smith. John is married to, let's say, Mary Smith. I can come over here to the add connection. In this section, I can click on the little glasses here, and we're going to say Mary Smith. Now, Mary Smith is not in the database. If she was, she would be listed there in the list. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Add Contact. It does say, hey, is there some more information that you want? I'm just going to say mary.smith@example.com. I'm going to put in a phone number and click on Save. So now what it'll do is it'll put Mary into the database for you. And now I can also select Mary from the list. In this case, Mary is the spouse of John, and the reciprocal, the other end of this, is John is the spouse of Mary. So you can put those in there. If you're putting in a son of John, then the reciprocal would be father. You can put in some kind of note. You can also put in whether or not this is a referral of that. So we click on Save. Now, the advantage here is within the connections area, you have the ability to put as many different connections, linking records to records, so that at any point, if I need to come to a particular person, I want to see who family members are, I can see them in the list. I can click on their names. I can open up those extra records and see who they are. If I go to the connections here, you'll see that John is the reciprocal, the spouse in this case, of Mary. So he shows up. And that's just a great way of linking the contact records together. I clicked on back to get back to John. We do have an area for checklists, and I won't cover that right now, but this just allows you to set up some different checklists, some files, some external documents that can be useful for HUD-1, stuff like that, being able to send those to people. We do have a photo manager so that any record that you're putting in can have one or multiple photos. Your inbox messages showing you what messages are in the system that you've sent to this particular person. And then also any routines, and we're going to get into routines, what those are, and how those automations will help you tremendously. So at this point, we've actually put in two people. We put in John, and we also put in Mary. I'm going to click on the back button, and there they are. So you can see everything. Now, if you wanted to go into Mary and you wanted to go in and do some more refining of that, you can certainly do that, putting in all that information. So now we've got all the information in there, all the categories, the contacts, stuff like that, that's available. Now, that's doing it manually. If you've already got names from some other database, you've got an Excel spreadsheet, or you've created it into a CSV of some sort, in the contact list, you can come over to the three little bar, the menu button here, sometimes referred to as the hamburger menu, hamburger icon. And then we've got a couple different options, but the one that I want to point out here is Import CSV. From the Import CSV, it will allow you to select the file, And it will pop up a folder area within your drive so that you can select it. Typically goes into your download or wherever, but select where your CSV file is located. Select that CSV file and then click on open. It then takes that CSV file and analyzes it for the fields. And it tries to match up the fields within SAM to the fields that are in your CSV file. In this case, it actually did a perfect job of finding first name in the CSV is the same as first name in the field. And it uses AI to determine that, trying to make that as smart as possible. Up at the top here, you can again select tags. So if I come in here, it'll give me a list of the available tags, or I can create a new tag if I want. Maybe I say imported and select that as a tag so that each record in this CSV file will immediately get imported. Maybe this is just an entire list of sellers or entire list of buyers. I can do that. In this particular case, however, there is a section in here called tags, and the tags area actually identifies whether that person is a buyer or not, and there are different fields in here, one of which is tags. You can select certain fields multiple times, so if you've got multiple fields that are tags, you can select that. Anything that you want to put into notes, you can put them into notes. It's simply a matter of clicking on the down arrow, selecting from the available fields, and then you're good to go. Now, we do have a little previous next button here. So in your CSV file, if you wanted to kind of check out where those fields are, maybe sometimes field names are a little bit arbitrary and you want to see what fields are actually in there. This will scroll up and down if there's lots of fields. This one's a fairly condensed file as far as number of fields. We can just click on next and kind of go through them just to kind of see what's in there. As you scroll down a little bit, if this is a CSV file that you'll reuse multiple times, sometimes you'll get a CSV file from a title company or some kind of lead source company of some sort, and it's always the same format. What you can do is click on the save map, give it a name, and then next time you come in, you can just load that map and it'll bring it right in. Loading the map from here. And if you want to delete the existing map, you can certainly delete it. But once you get everything set up the way you want, you can click on begin import, and it will start importing those names into the database. If you have a large database and it's going to take some time, certainly you can let this window stay the way it is, open up a second window of SAM, and go ahead and get in there and do things. You don't have to be tied to this particular one, but you do want to leave it up. You want to leave it up and running and let it do its thing. Once it has finished, you'll see that all the contacts that you imported, this was just sample data. This is not real live data or anything. I had ChatGPT build me a list of fake names and phone numbers and information. So it went through and it did all the things that, all the fields that I wanted it to fill in, and good to go there. So that is, the process of adding contacts manually and then also importing them from a CSV. If you have any questions, certainly reach out and we will answer any additional questions, but you should be good to go. That was basically all the tasks for the task number 1. And if you go to the next task, if you accept the challenge, certainly you will continue learning some great stuff.